Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special Insert Disc 2. That's my robot voice.
It's pretty good.
But we got to talk. We got to talk something that's a little bit outside our normal realm. This is more of an ARG thing, but I want to get you here because you don't know anything about it.
Right.
We're going to talk City of Heroes, massively multiplayer online game. It's in the news this week. Now, you know, I used to play City of Heroes. I was on the beta team. I was in the beta testers. I've played from Jump Street all the way.
I was going to say this is the all-time greatest MMO for you.
For me,
right?
it was, and I was there for the entire time it went when it went free to play until they put it in the dirt. Just as a brief history of City of Heroes, it was a game that was a massively multiplayer online game that I guess it released probably 15 years ago or so. It had about a 7 or 8 year run, and then the Korean company that owned the rights to it, NCSoft, which you've probably heard of, they did a bunch of games. They shuttered it. Despite the fact it was still making over $1 million a year for them, they wanted to consolidate their efforts into North Korea.
Boy, that's a bad business decision.
South Korea, and concentrate on their area of expertise. And so they shuttered City of Heroes, and they pretty much cast all the people that were playing. They were all upset because they still loved their game, and so did I. It was a great game. And so to this day, there's still an active City of Heroes community that just sits around basically lamenting that you can't play the game. I mean, if you look at what they talk about, they just talk about how great it was to play the game. What would you be doing in the game? What characters are in the game? That's why I'm seriously. If you look at the community, here's some pictures from that we took from in the game.
Wow.
There are several games that are sort of have risen in the wake of COH being canceled. Ship of Heroes is one. City of Titans is another one. But these are games that have been in production for literally the second the City of Heroes went away, they started, and they still aren't ready.
Oh.
Now, the word on the street is Ship of Heroes should be beta testing at the end of this year. But still, you're talking, I think the game's been gone for 7 years. So, needless to say, not much has happened in those 7 years, but there's been a little momentum. Someone put up what's called City of Heroes Chat, which basically means you can log into the game and you can walk around. You can make a character. You can walk around the world and chat with people, but you can't use your powers. You can't fight. There are no bad guys.
It's like Second Life in the City of Heroes universe.
It's like a shell. And all it does is make you more depressed because there's nothing you can do. You just walk around. Well, so this is all blah, blah, blah. No one cares. Here's the important stuff. About a week ago, a fellow posted a YouTube video, and what he said in the video was quite interesting. He claimed that he had played on a private City of Heroes server, and the server had been around for 6 years. A fully functional City of Heroes server that you could play the full game.
So there you can beat up baddies and
the
go
whole
on
game.
quests.
And not only did you get the whole game, when the game got canceled, they were working on what's called a new issue, which is a big update. That had been implemented, plus additional stuff had been done to make the game better in the years that the game had been offline.
Wow. So when he made this announcement, the City of Heroes crowd must have been super excited
They
and
were
pumped,
super
right?
angry.
Oh.
And the reason they were super angry is this. What had happened, the full scoop is, there was an outfit called Score. They were the secret cabal of retro engineers. Okay? They had worked on a game called Tabula Rosa that had got canceled a long time ago.
That was the Ultimate guy, Richard Garriott,
and
right?
Tabula Rosa, they had taken the game and they had managed to get it running on a private server. And NCSoft heard about it and took it down. So when City of Heroes died, they had some connection with the development team, who effectively, and we found all this out in the past week, he effectively took the entire game and gave it to them. The database, the code, everything. Everyone's characters are still there. All the content that was user-made is still, everything is still there. They got hold of this in secret. They went to a country that doesn't care what you do. They bought a server. They put it there, and they've been running a secret, invite-only City of Heroes game for 6 years that no one knew about except for the people that they trusted and their families. That was it. And so you're talking 1,000 people probably knew about it, or less. Now, there had been rumors about the secret server for years, but everyone got knocked down. And the hilarious part of this, the head guy that was doing all this was a huge mover and shaker in the City of Heroes community. And he'd been telling people it can't be done. We're never going to be able to pull this off.
So he was just lying through his teeth.
He was lying. And he was telling people that that you're not ever going to play this again. It's gone, and this is pretty much his story. And so the whole time he was doing that, he was running this to the server. Now, there's an added thing is that the server allegedly, this is what I read, costs $1,000 a month to run. So everyone would pitch in $3 or $4 a month to fund the server. There is a question as to whether this guy made money on this private server as well. It's possible that he was making upwards of a couple grand a month. We don't know that for certain. That's speculative.
But what he was taking in was not just the amount he needed for the server.
Again, it's all speculation, this part. So, and after this video came out, the score team, and the lead guy admitted that yes, this is in fact what's been going on. And all the people in the City of Heroes community lost their minds because they could have been playing, in their minds, they could have been playing City of Heroes for 6 years. Mm-hmm. And they haven't got to play it. Mm-hmm. And only the elite few that this guy selected got to play. And they were mad. And so the community literally split in half. Some people understood why they kept it secret because they would get shut down. And some people, and I'm on the other camp, were very upset and angry. Mm-hmm. The fact that someone had done this and been too cool for school to tell anybody. And I know people have, but I'm not here to give an opinion. That's just the way I feel. So,
well, you are here to give an opinion.
Well, no, because the story gets better.
Okay.
So this past week has been nonstop, huge mega fights. It's been picked up by news. It's a pretty crazy deal to think about it.
Yeah.
And people have been like, listen, there's no way you can make up for this. Release all the code right now so we can start our own private servers. We demand it. And then other people are like, well, you can't do that. And then some people are like, oh, it's illegal. You have all these, and then you got the people who always come out there in situations, come out and make peace or whatever. It's the usual crap that goes down. So just in the past day or two, it has come out that the score people have released the source code for City of Heroes to whoever wants it. Mm-hmm. So theoretically, by this weekend, as my brother told me, I think it'd probably be a little bit longer than that, but theoretically, by this weekend, there should be a playable, workable City of Heroes game available to whoever wants to play it.
Pretty incredible.
Pretty incredible that a week ago, there's been basically a week span of this happening, that this is going to happen. Now, from what I've heard, the new version won't have all the characters and stuff. Apparently, they don't have that implemented in it yet. I don't know how it all works. I'm not a server guy, but it'll be interesting to see how it goes from here, because NCSoft always has the ability to go and crack down on whoever's monkeying with their stuff.
Right.
But I think by the time you've released this to 1 million people, it's going to be a rough time to drag everyone down. Mm-hmm. And so it was a crazy week. So I guess I want to talk to you about what are your thoughts, having heard this, about I want to hear what you think about the guys holding on to the code for 6 years, the possibility of having these new servers, and where do you think NCSoft stands in something like this, given what I've just told you about it?
Well, this is really the perfect storm of the internet in general, and especially gamers on the internet, because it's got all the ingredients. You've got your group of people that are sad because something they liked went away.
Yes.
You've got your group of elite people who have secretly done something that is pretty illegal, but still kind of awesome.
Yeah.
And they've created this game, and they managed to keep it a secret for 6 years.
Amazingly, yeah.
That's a long time to keep a secret in this day and age. Then you have the dramatic reveal, which leads to all these people who feel uber left out because they weren't considered as one of the elites, because everybody that's lamenting the loss of City of Heroes 7 years after the game shut down considers themselves to be one of the truest fans of the game.
And I should mention that the elites, so quote unquote, mostly were culled from the Reddit, COH Reddit folks. Mm-hmm. So if you're not on Reddit, you were out. You had 0% chance.
Right. And so what is interesting to me is the speed at which the players in charge decided to release the source code. I wonder what kind of internal pressures they might have been under. I wonder, seriously, and I say this seriously, I wonder how many death threats that they got from people in the community.
Well, it's as you say that, there were people that said we should dox these people,
right.
It should be killed. They're very passionate. Of course, you always got a bunch of goofballs. And of course, everyone then goes, oh my God, I can't believe the community's gotten so crass.
Right.
Because of one or two guys, there's got to be some drama queens, and you've got your But I mean, yeah, everything you would expect from a big goofy community has
Now,
happened.
what I wonder is how many of these people that have been lamenting the loss of City of Heroes for the past 7 years, once they get back into it, realize that they like the idea of City of Heroes much more than the actual playing of City of Heroes. Because a lot has happened in the world of MMOs, especially those people that continue to play modern MMOs since City of Heroes left.
I will say that you will have people. I don't think that many people will not want to play, and the reason I say is City of Heroes. There's never been a game like it, and there hasn't. There have been superhero games, but they're not like this. One thing about it is, despite the fact that it's 15 years old or whatever, as they updated it, they improved the graphics engine. So really, it's only at this point you're talking about a game that's maybe 8 years old. It's not as old as you would think. It's been continuously and allegedly there have been new improvements made to it that I haven't even seen yet. But one thing that struck me as interesting is the fact that these guys held on to this thing for 6 years, and then they got outed. Then they instantly caved in. Good move, by the way, and released that code. Now, I've yet to play a COH today, so I'm not gonna get too excited until I'm logging on. Okay, but when that happens, one would wonder why they just did this 6 years ago. Because once it gets out, the cat's out of the bag. NC Soft's going to be hard pressed to do anything about it. Now, for the people that are saying, "Oh wow, this is illegal," I don't care. To be honest with you, I'm going to play the game. I bought the game. They shut it down while it was still working, and they are never going to release it again.
Right.
So I don't care. People are still running servers for a lot of these old games, and that's just the way it is. If you're going to shutter a game like that, don't cry and complain whenever people bring it back from the dead, because we're not paying you anymore anyway. You shut the thing down. So I have zero problem. I'm sure LaRon somewhere going to tell me that, but I have zero problem playing some kind of hack version. Plus, I bought the game, so I've installed it straight off the old CD I had. I didn't do anything different. It makes me wonder if this is going to work today, and we're going to have a bunch of City of Heroes servers popping up. Probably could have worked 6 years ago, to be completely honest with you. And these guys probably just they had their reasons. They had their reasons. They may even be good reasons, and they did do the work. But they also had the guy that gave them the code.
You have to remember too that when they did this with Tabula Rosa, NCSoft did shut them down. So maybe they thought, well, this time we're going to play it cool and take it under the table.
That's true. But last time they did that, guess what? They kept it to themselves then too. So
did they? Okay,
yeah.
So it was the same sort of deal.
Yeah. So it will be interesting to see what happens. But I thought it was a story so bizarre that it was worth telling to someone that did not know anything about it. We covered, just in case you're interested, me and Brent covered MMORPGs about a month and a half ago on ARG. And Brent picked another one that died, which was the Star Wars MMO as he knew it died, and it's another one that had a lot of fans, and they just changed it, made it horrible, and then no one cared. So, but it's interesting. It's an interesting tale. If anything else wacky happens, we'll do another one. But I thought it was kind of fun to talk about.
Awesome.